Welcome students. It starts with the organization of skeletal muscle. To that we will see the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. In that the axial skeleton contains the 80 bones and the appendicular skeleton contains the 126, and these are totally of the 206 bones. Now we will study the organization of skeletal muscle. Now the tendon is attached to the entire skeletal muscle. The muscle has been cut to reveal a cross section. These are the cross section view of the skeletal muscle, and the skeletal muscle is attached to the tendon. Now see in the diagram, these are the tendon, these are the skeletal muscles. Now the surrounding to entire muscle is a sheath of connective tissue which is called as the epimysium. Okay, the covering of the skeletal muscle is called as the epimysium or the outer surrounding. Next one is the transitioning deeper into the muscle reveals layer of a tissue which is known as the fascicle. Now these are the skeletal muscle. In that the skeletal muscle deeper into the muscle which is a layer of the tissue, and this layer of tissue which is called as the fascicle. These layers of tissue are actually a bundle of muscle cells which you can see as we transition to take a look at the one vesicle alone. Now see, these are the vesicle, only the one vesicle. These are the skeletal muscle, outer covering of skeletal muscle which is called as the perimysium. Okay, and in that the skeletal muscle there is the various tissues which is called as the fascicle. Now see, these are the one fascicles present in the skeletal muscle. Now this entire muscle, a sheath of connective tissue which is called as the epimysium. In a similar fashion, each individual fascicle is surrounded by a sheath of connective tissue which is known as the perimysium. Now see, these are the connective tissue, and the outer covering of the connective tissue or the skeletal muscle which is called as the epimysium. Now the second one is the fascicle. Fascicle is the one tissue present in the skeletal muscle. Now the next one is the outer covering of these fascicles which is known as the perimysium. These are the epimysium, outer covering of skeletal muscle, outer covering of fascicles which is called as the perimysium. Now next one is the muscle fibers. Okay. Furthermore, each fascicle contains a number of individual cells. Okay, and this cells is called as the muscle fiber which run parallel along the entire length of the muscle. Now see, these are the skeletal muscle. Okay, and the outer covering of skeletal muscle is called as the epimysium. Okay, and this skeletal muscle contains the various tissue, and this tissue called as the fascicles. Okay, and the outer covering of fascicles which is called as the perimysium. Okay, now the next one is the fascicle. This fascicle contains a number of cells. Okay, and this cell is called as the muscle fiber. Now see, these are the muscle fiber. These are the endomysium. Okay. This individual muscle fiber which is surrounded by an additional sheath of a lighter color connective tissue, and this is known as the endomysium. Next one is the sarcolemma. Okay, beneath this layer of connective tissue lies the muscle fiber plasma membrane, which is called as the sarcolemma. Just beneath the sarcolemma or plasma membrane lie the muscle fiber nuclei. These are the muscle fiber nuclei. Next one is the myofibril. Deeper within a muscle cell lies a number of rod-like structure which is known as the myofibrils. Now see, these are the rod-like structure which is called as the myofibrils. Now next one is the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The tan color porous structure. Now see, these are the tan color porous structure surrounding each myofibril is a network of smooth endoplasmic reticulum which is known as the sarcoplasmic reticulum. A network of tubules here in blue connects the surface of the sarcolemma to the interior of each muscle cell. These tubules are known as the transfer tubules or the T tubules. Now see, these are the T tubules or the transfer tubules. Both the structures play an important role in muscle contraction by carrying neural signals from the sarcolemma to the myofibrils. Now let's take a closer look at the myofibrils. Now see, each myofibril contains a section which is known as the sarcomers. This sarcomer is the basic contractile unit of muscle. It extends from a structure known as a Z-disc to an adjacent Z-disc further along the myofibril. Now see, these are the Z-disc and these are the sarcomer. Now next one is the within the each sarcomer exists a network of thick and thin protein myofilament. These thick myofilaments are composed of a motor protein which is known as the myosin, whereas the thin filaments are mainly composed of protein known as the actin supplemented by other protein. Now see, thick filament which is a myosin and next one is the thin filament which is the actin. Thick filament containing myosin and the projection are known as the myosin head. These leads containing active binding site and thus are responsible for binding of molecules of actin during the contraction. See, these are the thick filament myosin. They contain the head and the tail. Next one is the thin filament actin. They contain the globular actin. These are the two strands, fibrous actin. Next one is the tropomyosin. There are the two types of the protein. First one is the tropomyosin and the second one is the troponin. They are also present in the thin filament. This tropomyosin is the filamentous protein which spirals around the thin filament to stabilize the actin strand. This troponin is a globular regulatory protein that consists in actin-myosin interaction during the contraction. Now the contraction of skeletal muscle we will see in the next lecture. Up to we study the organization of skeletal muscle. That means the skeletal muscle is attached to the tendon and the outer covering of the skeletal muscle, which is called as the epimysium. Okay, and this skeletal muscle contains the various tissue, and this tissue is called as the fascicles. Okay, and this fascicle is outer covering is the perimysium. Okay, each fascicles contains the various cells, which is the muscle cells, and this muscle cell contains the myosin and the actin. Now see the levels of the organization within a skeletal muscle. First one is the skeletal muscle, fascicles, muscle fibers, myofibril, and the filaments. Okay. First one is the skeletal muscle, which is the organ made up of the fascicles that contains the muscle fibers, blood vessels, and the nerve wrapped in the epimysium. Okay. The outer covering of skeletal muscle is called as the epimysium. Next one is the fascicle, bundle of muscle fibers wrapped in the perimysium, or the upper covering of the fascicles, which is called as the perimysium. Next one is the muscle fibers or the cell, long cylindrical cell covered by the endomysium and the sarcolemma, contains the sarcoplasm, myofibrils, may peripherally located nuclei, mitochondria, transfer tubules, sarcoplasmic reticulum, and the terminal cisterns. The fiber has a straight appearance. Next one is the myofibril, which is a thread-like contractile elements within sarcoplasm of muscle fiber that extend entire length of fiber, which is composed of the filaments. Next one is the filaments or the myofilaments, contractile, contractile proteins within myofibrils that are of two types: thick filament composed of myosin and thin filaments which is composed of the actin, tropomyosin and troponin. Sliding of thin filament past thick filament produces muscle shortening. These are total of the level of organization within a skeletal muscle.